Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lambert Park for this, the 2020 season of the National Premier League's New South Wales Men's 1 competition. When we see them out there, they've got about 2 minutes once they start coming out. And I think that's when we go live so I can start talking. Yeah.
Like a 20 seconds delay, you know?
Yeah. The wait is finally over. The off-season is no longer. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the start of the National Premier League's New South Wales Men's 1 2020 competition. It's the opening round of the year, bushfire relief round. And what a game we have to open up the season. Last year's NPL 2 premiers, North Shore Mariners, the new boys of the competition, taking on last year's champions, APIA Leichhardt. As big a test for Joe Hayward's Mariners as they'll find for their debut game in the top flight. I'm Will Gotsis, and I'll be calling all the action for you today here at Lambert Park, the first of 288 live stream games in 2020 across the men's 1 first grade and 20s competition. And what a year it'll be, as we see both sides in the centre of the park at the moment. As we go through today's starting lineups, firstly the home side, North Shore Mariners in goals, Ryan Wood, the back three of Chris Lindsay, captain Rainer Smile and Brian Jemba. Midfield 4, Braden Cheng, Daniel Diaz, Eddie Caspers and Hugo Felico. Two number 10s today, Joe Hayward will be playing with Damir Pradanovic and Emmanuel Peters. Up top, Mitchell Smith, who scored 20 goals last year in the NPL 2 season, will head the front line. On the bench today, Jesse Perez, Daniel Saric, Daniel Olanaran, Zach Sviligoy, and reserve goalkeeper Joel Tinker, as touched on. Head coach is Joe Hayward. Now to last year's champions, APIA Leichhardt in goals. Ivan Achevsky, the back four of Michael Kuda, Josh Simmons, Temba Mwatamalo, Paul Galimi. Midfield 4 of Sean Simmons and captain Adrian Uccino and David Ipuzzo as your holding midfielders. And on the right, Dom Nasrabadi starting today and playing in that number 10 role as we've come accustomed to over the years. Franco Parisi, and up top, Chris Payne, man who scored 23 goals in 24 appearances last year, entrusted up top once again for APIA. On the bench today, Jeremy Cox, Patrick Sibilio, Mitchell Gibbs, Lachlan Hughes and reserve goalkeeper Luke Turnbull. Of course, they are coached by championship winning coach Johnny Kalesia. Referee for today's fixture is Tim Danaskos and McCobeck and Matty Allam, the assistant referees. And your fourth official is Jay Ewan. Of course, as we touched on, today is the opening round of the new season. It's been dubbed Bushfire Relief Round. There's a couple of places we'd like you to visit if possible throughout the game and in the coming days. The Red Cross Disaster Relief and Recovery Appeal. Go to fundraise.redcross.org.au/DRR and footballforfires.com. Of course, we'll touch on that game coming up in May. But first action here today is the new boys, North Shore Mariners. They will be calling Lambert Park home in this 2020 season. And a big test for the visiting sides that they're playing coming here. Not sure exactly what to expect. They were the premiers in the NPL 2 season last year, and of course going down to Hills United in that high-scoring grand final. A bit of an unknown. They have had a meteoric rise in the last 10 years, coming from park football all the way through the grades to NPL 1. As we see North Shore Mariners kick off, they'll be running to the western end here at Lambert Park, the scoreboard end. APIA, of course, will be running to the eastern side. We see the first free kick of the day. And it's Josh Simmons in that centre back role with Temba Mwatamalo. Very experienced centre back pairing they are. As North Shore Mariners look to wrestle the ball off APIA. Will be a throw on the far side, taken by Braden Chang. Diaz with a touch, goes over the sideline, so APIA with a throw. Taken by Paul Galimi. Of course, Paul Galimi scoring that first goal in that memorable extra time victory in the grand final last year against Sydney United. APIA did go on late in that contest to win the championship at the third time on offer. You see the first injury timeout called of the afternoon. Looks like it's Braden Chang down. He's playing on that left-hand side today for Joe Hayward. It'll be a good battle up against Dom Nasrabadi. Has been tipped by APIA people to have a big year. Of course, competing in that right midfield role with Corey Bixo. He's not playing today, just coming back from overseas, but he will be available next week. Johnny Kalesia looking to get the side out of the blocks quickly today. Of course, they will be targeted once again as one of the big hitters in the competition. It's a really good test for the Mariners today, just to see where they aim up in the top flight. Speaking with Joe Hayward pre-game, he said they're very fit and have improved considerably throughout the pre-season. But it's all about playing at the quicker tempo that you're accustomed to in the NPL 1 as opposed to the NPL 2. No time on the ball. Parisi with the header, down for DePuzzo. Ball goes out last of Mitchell Smith. APIA with the throw. Michael Kuda now on the left. Of course, his second season for APIA this year, coming across from Akawa Sydney City East last year, and what a great player he was. Referee Danaskos says play on there as they look to switch it. Almost getting caught out there, and it's Dom Nazrabadi on the right-hand side now. What can he do? Can he cut it back? He goes down. Referee says play on. And Mariners clear upfield. Looking for Smith, getting there first. Josh Simmons just heads it down for Galimi. Under pressure there from Peters, so they go back. Play it safe. Maintain possession. You will expect for the vast majority of this contest today, APIA will have the line share of possession. But we saw last season in the NPL 2 just how good North Shore Mariners were on the break. Plenty of firepower up in that front third today. Smith, Pradanovic, Peters. Of course, there's also Marquard Smith. He's not available today. As Chris Lindsay, the captain, gets it back to Ryan Wood, but free kick goes the way of North Shore Mariners. Into the 5th minute here at Lambert Park. No score. Mariners 0, APIA 0. Martamalo climbs high, gets the ball down. A nice switch of play across to the right, finding Felico. The ball in, looking for Smith in behind. Martamalo gets there. Just had to get his foot in the air, claims for a penalty. Pradanovic with a follow-up shot, goes wide. They need to be cautious in that centre of the park. APIA almost getting caught out there. Wonderful ball in by Felico. Looking for Smith. Muatamale just getting his foot there in time. What a start it would have been for North Shore Mariners. Machevsky with the goal kick finds Simmons. Josh Simmons, that is, under pressure from Pradanovic. Machevsky. Not the greatest of clearances there from the custodian. Recently celebrated, dare I say, his 40th, but playing like a 30-year-old still. Ivan Machevsky. Parisi has Simmons short, looks up, finds Uchino, under pressure from Diaz, takes the ball off him, Daniel Diaz, but free kick taken quickly by APIA, looking for Payne. Parisi with the vision, early up off his line, Ryan Wood finding Kuda. Ball into the centre of the park, lazy pass there, taken away by Diaz. Peters, beautiful turn there, turning Galimi, Emmanuel Peters. Diaz. Lindsay, the skipper. Looking forward to seeing Chris Lindsay in the NPL 1 competition this year. Has a deadly left foot on him. We saw plenty of brilliant strikes from him throughout last year. Big things expected from him, the skipper. Ball goes back to Smile. Switches the play, finding Felico. Caspers. Diaz for Lindsay. Ball helped on its way. Nice first touch by Smith. Interception there by Muatamala. Uchino. Looking for Payne. Little flat-footed there, Chris Payne. Mariners get the ball first. As Nazrabadi turns with some space up ahead. Again, the long ball. Certainly not the go with Chris Payne. Likes the ball to his feet or running into the space, the corridor that's created for him with the movement off the ball. So once again, Lindsay gets it forward. Nice bat down for Smith. Finding Peters. Chang. Up here with the throw. Chino goes down under pressure. Advantage played on. Kalimi comes in. Lucky to get away with it there. Peters remonstrating. He'll need to get out of the way or may find himself with the first yellow of the afternoon. Don't forget to share the stream, whether you're watching it on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel today or NPL New South Wales Facebook page. There's Smile and Payne come to blows, almost. Referee has a word to Puzo as he calls across Emmanuel Peters as well. Beautiful day here in Sydney. For those of you not living in Sydney, 27, 28 degrees, still probably around the 25, 26 degree mark. Of course, the only game to kickstart the bushfire relief round. All other games tomorrow, starting from 2 o'clock. And we'll touch on those games during the call today. Simmons needs to release it early to Uchino. Ball over the top for Kudo. He's on his bike. It's a match race. Getting there first for Lico. Up here with the throw deep in North Shore Mariners territory. Simmons comes near. Ends up getting it. Loses out possession, and it's the Mariners now who can break. Tracking back Michael Kuda. Some tough work defensively, winning the ball. Josh Simmons for Depuzo. Another player, David Depuzo. He's had a wretched run of injuries over the last couple of seasons, coming back again from an ACL. So he's almost like a new player to this squad for Johnny Kalesia. Of course, plenty of players missing experienced players today. Corey Bixo won. Sam McElhatton with the news. He will be off to America next week to ply his trade in Florida. So we wish him the best. And plenty of experience to be called on tonight, should they be needed to. At the greatest of chests there by Kuda. Caspers. Diaz taken down. As we touched on, 288 games live streamed this year across the NPL New South Wales Men's 1 competition, both first grade and 20s. Commentary available on all the first grade games. Very experienced lineup once again. Back to do it all. Second season with the complete package of live stream games. Don't forget to spread the word and follow the NPL New South Wales Facebook page. Get the notifications on your desktop, on your phones. Waitamalo gets inside Peters, tugs on the shirt. Again, referee Danaskos just having a word to him, saying that's the second time now. Third time, you won't be lucky. You'll be certainly finding yourself in the yellow card. Kuda. Depuzo. Pradanovic there with Caspers. They go back, finding Smith. And he's on his way. Mitchell Smith has a sea of maroon jerseys around. Puts the ball inside, looking for Peters. He goes down. Home fans claiming it was a penalty. Obstructed. Referee had none of that. Of course, one of the most experienced referees, Tim Danaskos, as Sean Simmons breaks deep. Good tackle there by Brian Jamba. Sends it out on the far side. Almost 11 and a half minutes played here at Lambert Park. Still no score. North Shore Mariners up against APIA Leichhardt. Just the one real opportunity early on for the Mariners. That half opportunity cleared by Waitamalo. As Nasrabadi goes down on the far side. And referee Danaskos walks across, and it will be Braden Chang who gets the first yellow of the afternoon. So the number 9 goes into the book. North Shore Mariners. Sean Simmons to take this one. Will swing it in off his favoured left boot. Josh Simmons up forward. Waitamalo offering some timber there for them. Great opportunity for APIA from this set piece. Again, Peters has spoken to. Simmons with the delivery in far post ball, looking for Waitamalo. They head back across. Ryan Wood gets down comfortably in the end as he distributes quickly, finding Chang. Lindsay for Diaz. He's playing the triangle at the moment. North Shore Mariners. Not a great deal of movement in that midfield third. They can go long, looking for Smith, the head on. Fortunately for Mitchell Smith there, Braden Chang a little out of the picture. The idea was right. It's just a play or two ahead of his left midfielder. Speaking of which, gets the ball first touch, looking for Diaz, turns it over, Uchino. But Reese, Uchino, the switch is on here. Depuzo gets to get it early. Josh Simmons up over the halfway line now for APIA. Tracked across by Peters. Simmons, beautiful ball over the top, looking for Payne offside. Here's the call on the far side. Picked up quickly by the AR. Played by the Mariners. Now forward. Again, Waitamalo in the back of Smith. Galimi, the 1-2 with Uchino. Continues on with his run down the right-hand touchline. Nasrabadi holds it up. Parisi, like a sheriff out there directing traffic. More like a copper. We'll take the sheriff. Kuda looks to get around. Folico. Caspers under pressure, does well, gets it forward for Smith. Waitamalo with the foot in. Lindsay gets it down. Pradanovic. Caspers. Smile. Peters, nice first touch. Tries to get around Depuzo, the experienced Depuzo, tugged there by Uchino. Play on. Is the call offside, but it'll come back for a free kick. And a yellow card to Adrian Uchino. Well, a nice turn there from Emmanuel Peters created the opportunity. Advantage was allowed by referee Tim Danaskos, but had to call it back due to the offside. But Adrian Uchino finds himself in the book. It's always good for a few yellow cards throughout the season. Uch, as he's known, has been a mainstay for APIA over a number of years since his transfer from Bonnyrigg. Ball in by Lindsay. Josh Simmons headed away. Pradanovic. Diaz. Under pressure from Parisi. Has to go back. Turns it over to Chris Payne. And what a goal that would have been. Free kicks pulled up on Parisi just in the back there of Lindsay. Opportunist strike it would have been from Chris Payne. Saw Ryan Wood well off his line. Free kick to the Mariners. Into APIA territory they go once again. Jamba. Looking for the switch of play. Had to make it inch perfect, couldn't do so. Nasrabadi wins it back for APIA. Once again they recycle the ball from the back. Waitamalo, Galimi on that far touchline calling for it. Doesn't quite get there. Josh Simmons with that lazy ball across to Kuda. Folico for Jamba. Smile. Had a nice chat to his parents moments before kickoff. So hello to the Smiles. I wish you well for this season for your son. and the club at hand. Switch of play there from Peters, finding Forlico. Jemba. Smile. Little condensed in that middle third at the moment. North Shore need to open up. Chang. Pradanovic. Interested to see him playing on the left today. Games I saw him last year. A little more on the right, same as Chang. Plenty of versatility in this side for Joe Haywood. Smile gets it down, under pressure from DePuzzo. Chang. Switcher playing to the centre of the park. First time ball across by Caspers. Finding Forlico. Simmons gets there first. Uchino. Najrabadi. That's the pirouette. Go back to Parisi. Ball forward. Looking for Simmons. Handled well by Smile. Najrabadi once again twisting and turning, trying to create some space out there. This time he tries to dink it over the top for Simmons. Still fighting there on that right-hand side. Dom Najrabadi, but it's Chang with the ball forward. Finding Smith. Peters gets it down. Overlapping his Forlico. Well, Emmanuel Peters judged to have handled the ball on the halfway line. So APIA with the free kick. 18.5 minutes gone here at Lambert Park. Still no score. This opening game of the season in the NPL New South Wales Men's 1 competition. The new boys, North Shore Mariners, hosting APIA Leichhardt Tigers. Both teams calling Lambert Park home for this season. Simmons, Route 1 style once again. No side really settling into the contest at the moment, dominating. Plenty of long balls forward. You expect that coming out of pre-season. Sides aren't as sharp as they'll be after 4 to 6 weeks of the competition. Nothing beats match fitness, as they say. It's a long off-season, pre-season. Long ball forward. The back post was Smile, but getting there first. It's Josh Simmons, concedes the corner. So a great opportunity now for North Shore Mariners from this set piece. And will be Hugo Forlico. Swings it in, far post ball, looking for Smile. Headed away by Maitamalo, and as far as Chang. Keeps it in play. Turned over once again by APIA. Diaz for Jemba. Forlico. Looking for Pradanovic, getting there first is Parisi. Uchino with a switch. Good vision there from the holding midfielder, finding Najrabadi. Lays it off for Galimi. Got us calling all the action for you today on the Football New South Wales YouTube page, as well as NPL New South Wales Facebook. Don't forget to set the notifications up, however you may be watching it, whether it be on YouTube or Facebook or on your phone. A myriad of games throughout the year. Top flight football in the state. A season where sides have to get up and running early on. No club championship, as there has been over the last few years with the 18s and 20s. Promotion and relegation based on first grade. DePuzzo leaves it for Josh Simmons. Ball over the top. Jumbo gets there. Forlico. Ahead of Kuda. Back to Jumba. Clears it to the centre of the park. Devuzo. Uchino. Galimi calls for it and receives it. Lays it off for Parisi. Najrabadi. The 1-2 with Parisi. Again, the ball over the top. Skidding off the Lambert Park turf there. As Chris Payne last year went neck and neck with Thomas James. In the end, it was the Englishman who prevailed with the golden boot by one. With that penalty on the final day against Marconi Dowling Wollongong. But what a return it was for Chris Payne. First season across from Sydney United. 23 goals in 24 matches. What a replacement he was. Of course, with Jordan Murray moving on to A-League pastures with the Central Coast Mariners. Tasusu Sakia moving down to NPL Vic with the Avondale Avengers. Free kick to North Shore Mariners. It's a foul on Emmanuel Peters. .23.5 minutes gone here at Lambert Park. No score. North Shore Mariners, APIA Leichhardt. The opening game of the Bushfire Relief round. Kickstart things in 2020. Galimi searching ball forward, looking for Simmons. Forlico gets there first. Jamba finds Wood under pressure. Once again, the ball forward. Bread and butter, that is, for Josh Simmons. The Mariners maintain possession with the second ball through Peters. Pradanovic can't quite get there. Stretching but loses out. Najrabadi once again turns on it. Taken down by Cheng. Not much in it, but had to be called. No advantage to Apia. Chino takes it quickly. Simmons flicks it on, looking for Kuda. Heavy touch there from Depuzo, and it's the Mariners who can break now through Peters. Had the checkies run there, Smith. They go the opposite direction through Pradanovic. Diaz overlapping on that left-hand touchline is Cheng. Lindsay finds Cheng. Pradanovic. Much better possession from North Shore here. Jamba plays the 1-2 with Caspers. Smile. Lindsay dinks it up forward, looking for Smith. Maitamalo does enough to force a throw on the far side. For the long throw here, the North Shore Mariners. Lindsay goes up into the mix with Smile. Smile fighting there. Comes off Simmons. Uchino. Looks to bomb forward for Payne. Flicks it on. A little too much work there for Dom Najrabadi. Of course, as always, for New South Wales, I'd like to thank their sponsors for their support throughout the season. New South Wales Government, TAFE New South Wales, Ultra Football, Puma and Mida. Mariners look to get him behind through Smith now as he goes to pull the trigger. Just getting there first is Simmons. Kuda, almost an own goal. Nachevsky scrambles, gets there in the end. Well, a moment of concentration lapse from Apia, almost costing them. Uchino. Galimi. Good work there from Eddie Caspers. Simmons for DePuzzo. Down the line he goes. You just see Nasrabadi on this left-hand side at the moment. Not sure that it's quite by design at this point in time. Forlico with the throw for North Shore. Smith helps it on its way. Finds Peters. Chino, just with his experience, holds it up. Smith with the quick throw. Cheng is free, just couldn't get it to him. Pradanovic, they'll end up getting that way in the end. Lindsay. Diagonal ball across, looking for Peters. Tries to get it down, can't quite do so with that somewhat heavy first touch. Wins out once again though with a slip of Kuda. Forlico for Smith. Again, APIA scramble well. Jemba, a little more urgency there, pushing the back from Nasrabadi. Free kick the Mariners, dangerous position for APIA. As we approach the 28.5 minute mark here at Lambert Park. Not sure if Uchino was talking to some family or friends there. He will be the captain. Chris Lindsay. On his wicked left foot to swing it in. Up here at full attention. Pushing and shoving. Smile. Simmons in the box. As Danaskos, the referee, walks across to have a quiet word to the players. Of course, a very experienced referee, Tim Danaskos. Did see him as a fourth official last week in one of the A-League games I was working on. So very close to being a referee in the A-League competition on the panel as Lindsay looks to drive it in the centre of the box, straight into the bread basket of Nachevsky as he looks to get things going quickly. Uchino lets the referee know that was a yellow. Half an hour gone here at Lambert Park. No score. North Shore Mariners up your Leichhardt. Wood clearing ball forward. Kuda gets there first with the header. Mariners with the throw to be taken by Jemba. As Forlico says, leave it to me. Ends up going back to Brian Jemba, the number 6 for the Mariners. It's a wonderful story. The North Shore Mariners, of course, coming from a grassroots club that they were through the state leagues and the NPL up to NPL 1 now. Joe Haywood has been there for the entire journey. Of course, the Northbridge club themselves, over 2,500 juniors. The largest club in the land. Junior club, that is. Lindsay. Certainly doing things right. A lot of people in good places. Hard working. Impressing the right people they are. The ball in by Cheng. Looking for Smith. Cleared away by Simmons. Nasrabadi goes down. Just tagged there by Lindsay. Not a lot of space for Nasrabadi. Even checking himself, Chris Lindsay was always going to create the foul. Simmons squares it for Matamalo. We know he likes to play. Uchino tries to thread the needle. Cheng does well with the outstretched leg. wins the ball. And some Mariners who turn it over in the centre of the park. Parisi to Puzo. Kuda. Not a lot of movement up that top third from APIA at the moment, so they look to get in behind for Simmons. Tracked across by Jamba. Kuda there if he needs him. The back heel goes, overlapping Michael Kuda. Can swing it in off his left. The block there by Jamba. Still Kuda. Can measure his cross. Eugenio with a volley. Can't get it on target. The ball's still bouncing around. And then the foul by Chris Payne on Chris Lindsay. And the Mariners survive. Of course, this round has been dubbed the Bushfire Relief Round. Football New South Wales will be promoting the round through the two avenues, the Red Cross Disaster Relief and Recovery Appeal. This is to assist communities to prepare, respond and recover. Just go to fundraise.redcross.org.au/DRR. And also Football for Fires. Football Legends match to be played at ANZ Stadium on the 23rd of May. This will contribute towards the restoration and improvement of local football clubs and facilities in fire-affected areas across Australia. This fund will be administered by the FFA, so go to footballforfires.com. Please ensure that Mainstream Australia has supported the country as a whole. If you can help out a little bit more, please go to the Red Cross Disaster Relief webpage or Football for Fires. As Forlico looks to get around Kuda. He stands up well, Michael Kuda. And can they turn defence into attack now through this transition? Simmons, a long ball across, fighting Nasrabadi. Acres of space. Over Lindsay it goes. Nasrabadi. Ball in, looking for Payne off the head. Can't get it on target. Chris Payne. Well, 4 yards out. You wouldn't expect him to miss. The beautiful vision and switch of play from APIA. The measured ball in by Nasrabadi. Chris Payne can't make the Mariners pay. 0-0 it remains into the 35th minute mark here at Lambert Park. Of course, that Football for Fires, what a night it'll be at ANZ Stadium on the 23rd of May. Players like Didier Drogba, David Trezeguet, Dwight York, Claudio Marquisio, Dario Simic, Johnny Aloisi, Jisung Park, Simon Colosimo, Torre Andre Fleur, Mark Bosnich, Kombutsianis, Pedro Mendes, Emil Heskey, Michael Bridges, Jeremiah, Apia, Sorensen, Smisa, Patrick Berger. Of course, Graham Arnold will be coaching the Australian side, and Hus Hiddink, the Netherlands side. The coach of the other side. Of course, that'll be the SES All-Stars up against the Firefighters All-Stars. So good to see the Socceroos coach, Graham Arnold, involved. And some names that perhaps many of the mainstream public wouldn't have had an opportunity to see throughout their professional careers. So make sure you get out to ANZ Stadium on the 23rd of May. 8 p.m. kickoff, that will be. Football for Fires. Of course, these two sides next week continue on. Up in that blockbuster, up against Sydney Olympic, who themselves are involved in a big one tomorrow against Wollongong Wolves. Terry Palapanis has recruited well for Sydney Olympic. They will be one of the heavy hitters this year. Of course, winning the double the year before, the Premiership and the Championship, under coach Abassad. And Luke Wilkshire swept all before them last season, taking out the Premiership, the NPL national title. Didn't quite get there in the playoff series. They've recruited well in the off-season. A couple of key players coming into the squad from that Wollongong University side that We're runners up in the World Games. Long ball forward, Nichevsky off his line. Safety first, finding Diaz. Parisi turns, looks up, plays it short. Simmons, the ball in behind. These players played with each other last year. Just quite getting the runs right at the moment. Payne coming near there, looking for the ball short. Uchino for Galimi. Guatemala under pressure from Pradanovic. All the way back to Nichevsky. Ball forward for Payne. Heads it down nicely for Nasrabadi. Beautiful turn taken down there by Smile. Just on the edge of the D, so Ryan Wood will need to set up his wall here. Plenty of dead ball specialists in this APIA side. Sean Simmons, Chris Payne. The two over the ball. Galemi will just add nuisance value. No doubt he'll jump into the wall. Probably a good position for the skipper with the left foot, Sean Simmons, to take it. Looks like he's got ants in his pants at the moment, so perhaps it's going to be him, but never say never when Chris Payne is around. Upstets Simmons into the wall. The follow-up shot with the right. Can't quite get the power on it. Does get a deflection on the way through, though. Uppy with the corner. As we approach the 40-minute mark in this first half, so a wonderful opportunity for either side to strike before the break. Take that momentum into the sheds. Uchino, long ball forward. Guatemala heads it back into the box. Diaz headed out. Payne can't quite control it with a volley, so cleared away by Peters as far as Nasrabadi. Picks out Simmons. Payne gets there first. Over the top it goes. And into the back of the net. Well, whether it was Chris Payne or Paul Galimi, it's APIA Leichhardt who take the lead here at Lambert Park into the 41st minute. And it's the Champions 1, leading the Mariners 0. Well, they failed to clear the second ball there, North Shore Mariners. Clemmie not too sure, so if he's not too sure, I'd say that it will be Chris Payne. It looks like he may have got his first of the year. We will confirm at half-time for you. Nevertheless, it's APIA with the lead. Simmons heads it forward. Forlico. Caspers. First time ball over the top for Chang. Too much heat on it from Eddie Caspers. Must say, good crowd in for this opening game of the 2020 season. Not quite in Northbridge where the Mariners are usually housed. A nice little trip across the city, though, for them. Pradanovic takes down Nasrabadi. Clutches at his left ankle. Tom Nasrabadi. Well, they've held their shape throughout their first 40 or so minutes. Just clocked off for a moment. Speaking with the gaffer Joe Hayward pre-game, that's the difference between the NPL 2 and NPL 1. If you get clocked off at any given time, you can be punished. Saw it in the 20s earlier today. A couple of errors at the back from North Shore, and APIA pounced. And they too dissimilar in the first grade. Parisi, again, the diagonal ball in. Easy work there for Ryan Wood. Rolls it out quickly. Jemba under pressure from Payne. Almost loses it out. APIA working hard. DePuzzo dives in. Wins it. Kuda as they look to settle it down to Simmons. Josh Simmons, that is. Uchino. 3 players around him, taken down by Pradanovic. As he gets up, all smiles. No doubt the players will be looking forward to that half-time break. Simmons. Sean with that ball in. Overcooking it. Straight to Wood. Paulico. Caspers, the 1-2. They look to play it inside for Pradanovic. Little over 1 minute plus time added on in this first half. Is there time for North Shore to restore parity? Will APIA take that half-time lead into the sheds? Solid workman-like start from John Collegia's men in this opening round. Of course, they all play 5, 6, 7 pre-season games, but it's really the match fitness that will get the players up to speed. Especially in today's weather. It's cooling down now here in Leichhardt, but certainly up around the 29, 30 degree mark. Not too early on in this day. Simmons, nice drag. He's turned into a bit of a libero these days, Josh Simmons. Still going. Almost losing it, does well in the end. Finds Parisi. The ball in behind, looking for Payne, but quick off of his line was Ryan Wood. Raina Smile doing well. Just to shadow the ball through to his keeper, Jamba. Diaz. Daniel gets it in for Pradanovic. Jamba. Back to Diaz. The 1-2 with Pradanovic. Diving in is Uchino. They turn it over. A cheeky attempt there from Chris Payne, about 45 out. Of course, a man that's made a living off scoring goals like that, Paninikas. He's out with that facial injury at the moment. He was their really big signing in the off-season from Rockdale. Didn't quite work out for him last year. Rockdale had some injuries. After injuries cruelled him in the back half of the year before at Sydney United, but it's APIA now who have one more opportunity going forward. Nasrabadi squaring it up. Simmons with a flick on. Parisi with a shot. Just over the bar there from the maestro himself, Franco Parisi. Can't be too much left in his first half, already into the second minute of the time added on. As Wood clears it forward. Diaz gets it down, gets around Uchino, finding Peters. Needed to look up, add Chang to his left. Early ball was what was required, but it's Parisi now. Holding it up, looking for support. Can get it across to Sean Simmons. Kuda's on his bike, on his skates he goes. Michael Kuda gets the ball. Around he goes. First time ball in, whips it, looking for Payne. Cleared away by Smile. Tapuzo with a heavy touch. Forlico with a clearance, and that's the last play of the first half. Here at Lambert Park, the opening game of the 2020 National Premier League's New South Wales Men's 1 competition, bushfire relief round. And it's last year's champions, APIA Leichhardt 1, leading the new boys, North Shore Mariners 0. North Shore Mariners certainly in this contest up to their ears. But will APIA go on to reign supreme in the second half? We'll take a short break. We'll come back and find out whether it'll be APIA who take away all 3 points today or whether North Shore Mariners have some say in the second half. Halftime score here at Lambert Park, APIA 1, North Shore Mariners 0. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lambert Park for the commencement of the second half of this National Premier League's New South Wales men's first grade game between North Shore Mariners and APIA Leichhardt. It's APIA leading by a goal to nil. Just look at the halftime stats. 5 attempts of goal to 2 from APIA. Not a lot of activity in that front third, but it's a workmanlike performance from them at the moment. Doesn't appear to be any halftime substitutions to either side. The stats just disappeared, unfortunately, off our screen, so sorry, can't bring you all those stats, but not much between two sides in this first half, and let's see how this second half pans out between the two. Don't forget to share the stream. Tell people about the NPL New South Wales competition. Of course, the women's are starting next week, NPL 2 and so on. So make sure, get in touch, stay in tune with all the social media. NPL New South Wales Twitter page, the Football New South Wales Twitter handle, as well as their Facebook pages, the Football New South Wales YouTube. You can subscribe to the newsletters this year if you've got a particular team that you like or follow. You get all the latest information emailed straight to you as it becomes available. Chang, good first touch. Looks to go around Galimi. Never an easy task. One of the toughest defenders in the competition, Paul Galimi. Always leaves it on the park. The first corner of the second half to go to the Mariners, Chris Lindsay. Looking to send this one deep. Long ball in. Looking for the header from Smith, as well as Peters. Up here with a early goal kick. Yeah, we just looked at the goal by Chris Payne. It appeared as though it was Chris Payne that got the header in. Paul Galimi made sure of it. Oh, it's a wonderfully constructed goal. Ball came out. Dom Nasrabadi had the vision and the composure to pick out Josh Simmons, and his wonderful ball in for Chris Payne, just getting there ahead of Ryan Wood to give last year's champions the lead. Certainly been in this contest though, North Shore Mariners. Massive second half coming up. As Jemba looks to play infield for Diaz. Needs a throw. Diaz. As Napuzzo in his back, so a smile helps it forward for the Mariners. Diaz working hard there, jostling with Uchino. The experience of Adrian Uchino maintains the ball for Apia. Nasrabadi still going. Still going, Nasrabadi. Great skill taken down from the side there by Daniel Diaz. Some good skill from Dom Nasrabadi. Taken quickly by Apia. Payne, the ball in. Deflected by the Mariners, but they hand it straight back over. Uchino tries to play it for Payne. Lindsay gets there first. Peters. Pradanovic. Pradanovic saying, where's the call on the tug? Mariners for the throw. Chang helps on its way, looking for Peters, but it gets across to Smith. He's fighting hard. Gets on the right side now. Can square it up into the box for Forlico. Michael Cooter comes across from the left to save the day. Well, Mitchell Smith, just as he was about to square it up for a tap-in for Hugo Forlico. Out from the clouds came up his left back. Still not out of danger. Lindsay. Near post goes. Ball almost ricochets into the back of APIA's goal there. Nichevsky gets down well. Yeah, thanks to those who have shared the stream and left some comments. We see Jim Snoz and the Hamilton Azuri fans who are big fans of the APIA club. They're all tuned in and watching their beloved APIA. So hope to see some actives around the grounds this season. Wonderful competition. Parisi, cheeky, leaves it. Offside's the call. Breaks down for APIA. Wood sends it forward. Kuda gets there first. Forlico with the Puzo, Pradanovic. Eddie Caspers. Almost pickpocketed there. They do lose out in the end though. It's Nasrabadi, Parisi. Tries that cheeky no-look pass that we've come to love of his. Forlico down. Kuda. It's been a good battle today out there on that left and right hand sides for APIA and North Shore Mariners. Certainly held his own, the number 7 for North Shore. Almost 6 minutes played in this second half. Still APIA 1 leading North Shore Mariners 0. Just a half chance there to North Shore. In the end, Nichevsky saved well. Cheng. Manny Peters in front of him. Goes back infield. Headed away from one Simmons to another. DePuzo. Uchino. Beautiful diagonal ball. Onside is Chris Payne. Has 4 yellow shirts. Make that 7 around him. Needed some support. Recycles out to Sean Simmons. Plays it back into an offside. Chris Payne breaks down. And they'll take their goal kick. North Shore Mariners. Well, it will be interesting to see in this second half how the match fitness of both sides holds up. Expecting a lot more spaces out there in the various corridors. Cheng. Manny Peters wants it back. They just hold it up for Diaz. Lindsay. You'd hear Manny Peters there. Lino, as is known. Chris Payne. Almost gets there for Sean Simmons, but the first time ball by Uchino onto his favoured left. And he shoots. Sean Simmons across the face of the goal. He picked out the far post. Couldn't get it inside that post. Nasrabadi arrived too late and they survive. Almost getting caught out there. The quick ball movement from APIA. He's earned a living off that. Sean Simmons. That shot from that left-hand side. Not many better than him. Manny Peters now scampers on a run. Off he goes like a greyhound. Smith gets there. The ball in by Chang looking for Peters. Kuda leaves it. He's about to remonstrate there, Michael Kuda. The assistant referee points to the corner. So whether fortuitous or not, APIA will need to be on their game here. As Forlico will measure it in. Ball is whipped in near post. Looking for Chang. Fisted away by Nichevsky, only as far as Diaz. He heads it forward, looking for Smile. Oh, beautiful turn from the number 2. Maitamalo comes in, skies the ball. Forward like a fountain, and Sean Simmons heaps it downfield. out of danger. Jemba will just shepherd it out for a goal kick. Chang. Still jostling with Galimi. Of course, tomorrow it all kicks off at 2 p.m. out of Popondetta Park, Mount Druitt Town Rangers. Hayden Desmond's side taking on Jim Van Weeren, Sydney FC. Of course, a much different looking Sydney FC this year. Plenty of players have gone on to secure A-League contracts from that side last year. Seen a couple of the kids score last week off the bench for Sydney against Central Coast. Mark Otilio, Harry van der Sarg, Joel King, been playing left back. Thomas Hewitt-Bell's in that squad. Jerry Skitatis, who started the season there last year, he's now Western United. Lee McGing as well, mid-season transfer to Sutherland and then found his way over at Wellington Phoenix this year, so a much different looking side for them. The 3 o'clock game, that'll be called by Nicholas Kutniak. The 3 o'clock game, Blacktown City up against Sydney United 58. What a game that'll be. Tony Tanous, the dulcet tone of him out there. 3 p.m. that is. The 4 p.m. blockbuster, Sydney Olympic at home against Wollongong Wolves. So two massive hitters. 4:30, Rockdale up against Manly. Nate Patrick calling that one for you. And then the 7 o'clock game, Marconi Stadium's taking on Sutherland Sharks, Tony Salerno out at Marconi Stadium. So 5 big games to round out bushfire relief round. Simmons. Good defensive work there from Brian Jamba. Mitchell Smith down the line. Can't quite get it to him, but next best thing is a throw in. Of course, we touched on the round 1 games. What a round 2 we've got next week. We've got the North Shore Mariners travelling down to last year's premiers and National Premier League champions, Wollongong Wolves. Chang rolls it out, finding Peters. 1v1. Galimi in front of him. Nazrabadi comes across to help out. In the end, it will be North Shore Mariners corner. Good work there from Manny Peters. Once again, Chris Lindsay, dead ball specialist with his corner. Again goes near. Nice angled run from Smith. Referee saying the final touch coming off the number 18. Did touch on him at the top of the show. Scored 20 goals in the NPL 2 last year. Had a wonderful season for Joe Haywood. And part of the reason why they were premiers as well as securing that club championship. Ahead of Hills. Pradanovic, first time ball over the top. It's a match race here, Muatamalo and Smith. Good strength shown there by Mitch Smith, but Muatamalo concedes the corner. So again, some pressure to be exerted on APIA's defence. This time Lindsay with the in-swinger. Into the centre of the box. Easy pickings for Nechevsky. Rolls it out. Quick distribution. Finding Payne. Again, he's isolated as 3 yellow shirts around him. Jamba does well. Wins it. Battle of the Sixers there. Wood. Uchino. Into the 60th minute mark here at Lambert. Still APIA 1 leading North Shore Mariners 0. As it stands No, the gaffer has gone to the bench. So the same complement of 11 that started this game is still out there. Uccino stays down like he's been shot, but he's as tough as teak, Adrian Uccino. It's through a mountain of work. He must have an ice bath at home, Adrian Uccino. He clutches his groin area. Parisi, Kuda. Beautiful vision from Uccino. Finding Nasrabadi. The ball in. Safety first from Brian Jamba. Concedes the corner. Yeah, you always marvel at the players, no matter what age, and they're down and they're playing not so much for the free kick, but they're injured. When you ask them, are you all right to carry on? They're up pretty quick. As we see some substitutes on the sideline warming up now for the Mariners. Ball in for APIA. Looking from Guatemala, gets there first. Lindsay can turn defence into attack. Holds it up nicely for Cheng. Manny Peters to his left. Good tracking back from the central defender, Josh Simmons. Quick throw taken into the back of Cheng, but he does well to maintain possession. Diving in, Tembumwatamalo. Simmons. Seen a move across now, just floating across to the right. Sean Simmons, the ball in behind for Parisi. He'll continue on with his run, but a little too much power on it. So Wood comes off his line quickly. Sniffs out that opportunity. See Simmons shifting across to the left once again. Just ended up not by design on that same sort of area space as Dom Nasrabadi, but didn't quite have enough time to get across. There was a bit of a break in play. Nasrabadi, the one-touch football there by Apia, finding Payne. Sean Simmons in the box. Parisi, Simmons chests it down onto his right. Parisi, Jamba just gets in the way and jams it. And the Mariners now through Pradanovic. Forlico. Slow it down. Eddie Caspers. Intercepted by Nasrabadi, tracking back. The Puzo for Uccino. Over the top by Simmons. Headed down by Lindsay it was. Peters. Fighting with Galimi, tough challenge. Pulls the shirt. It's a bit of raz from the Apia faithful as we see a substitution for North Shore Mariners. The first of the evening. Now we'll wait for a break in play for that substitution. Just the final instructions there. Guatemala for Nasrabadi. Back heel for Galimi. Parisi using the old extremes of the pitch. Delightful ball in for Payne, the flick on header. Looking for Simmons at the back. Wasn't quite there. This time it goes out, and this time we may see the first substitution of the evening. And it'll be Hugo Forligo going off. Looks like it's Daniel Saric that's come on. So like-for-like substitution for Joe Haywood there. It's also on the bench today. Jesse Perez, Daniel Alenaran, and Zach Sviligoy. We still haven't used their bench at this point in time. Cheng looks to run it. Galimi and get around him. Runs out of space though. Ball goes out of play. Surridge tucks it away, but Galimi just showed him enough for the ball to run out. They play it quickly, APIA. Simmons. And Puzo just says slow it down. Keep possession. This time they go long. Once again, Simmons on his bike. I'd love to see GPS tracker every week. Sean Simmons would be off the charts. I know he's doing 10, 11, 12 Ks. Anyone that knows him, when they see him walk out of the ground, he's certainly limping. Puts it all into the game. Of course, the synthetic pitches. There's wear and tear on that too, on the players, the knees, the ankles, the hips. Hips is a big major for them. Blocked there by Jemba. Michael Kuda, of course, won the futsal title this year with Anfield. That was last year, sorry. As we see, first substitution of the evening for APIA this time. Mitchell Gibbs coming on. That'll be Jeremy Cox. We saw the 19, but it's going to be Jeremy Cox. Jeremy Cox will come on and play in that right-hand role. There's Jeremy Cox coming across in the off-season for Sutherland Sharks. Previous to that, played at Sydney FC. Comes on. Look for him to make some sort of footprint on this one midway through the second half. Guatemala, silky, beautiful turn. This time the far post ball in. Look for Josh Simmons, couldn't quite get there. Wonderful turn from the central defender, looking out for his partner there in Josh Simmons. What a off the cuff that goal that would have been. Two central defenders combining. Depuzo, Cheng. Peters. Caspers. Diaz. Parisi working hard there. Working hard for the money, as they say. Just make it a little difficult. Still, the evergreen Parisi, very fit. Does extras all the time. 35 years of age and still loving life. Many thought he'd retire after last year's grand final victory. Loves the club, loves the camaraderie of the boys. As Chris Payne lurks offside. That one gets pulled up. Don't forget, plenty of games tomorrow, kicking off at 2 o'clock out at Popondetta. All the way through to the late game at Marconi at 7. So go along and support your team. If you can't, the next best thing, catch the live streams. Some great commentators amongst the team in 2020 once again. Cheng does well. As we see another substitution. This time it's Eddie Caspers going off. And will be Zach Sviligoy. Sviligoy will come on for Caspers. Lindsay with the delivery. This time goes far. The header comes off the crossbar, doesn't cross the line. Well, the fans are saying you're joking. Almost straight onto the field, and Sviligoi it was. How that didn't go in, I'll never know. Sigh of relief there from the APIA players as Manny Peters gets some treatment from the physio. What a towering header it was from Sviligoi. What a start would have been for him, the number 30. Up he gets, Manny Peters. 25 gone in his second half. Chris Payne header. 5 minutes before half-time, the difference at the moment. Still plenty of life in this contest. Jang gets it forward. Parisi tries to get on the carpet. Does so. Under pressure. Almost loses out. Uchino dinks it forward. Looking for Simmons. Off his line quick was Wood. Cheng. Switch of play there by Jamba. Brian Jamba, of course, the poster boy in the kickoff program this week. Another thing, if you're getting the alerts, the newsletters, the matchday programs, usually out on a Thursday afternoon, so it's a great way to check all the ins and outs of the clubs as well as what's going around from the technical perspective of the club. Also write-ups about the 18s and 20s too. Lindsay. Ball in. Headed away for a corner by Galimi. So another corner to North Shore Mariners. Beautiful evening here in Sydney, Leichhardt. Still about 24, 25 degrees, so perfect temperature for the players. Of course, being the last day of February, no doubt that there'll still be some warm days ahead in March before the temperatures start to drop a little. Diaz looks to go near, but it's delivered long by Lindsay. Brodanovic with the shots. He does well to get it on target. Straight into the basket of Nachevsky. Parisi over the top. Finding Cox. Under pressure there from Brodanovic. Galemi finds Depuzo. As the ball shifts quickly from the right to the left. Kuda for Sean Simmons. Depuzo has to check his run. Still going, comes back from an offside position. Always a tough ball there from Sean Simmons. Depuzo was steaming through, never going to get the ball first time round and couldn't help himself there. The skipper coming back from an offside position was David Depuzo. Because last year in an assistant role for the club with that ACL injury. Uchino under pressure. Tough as always. Jemba once again comes across for Galimi. So had a good game today, Tim Danaskos. Just let the game flow where possible, pulled it up when he's needed to. Not a fiery one to open the season, that's for sure. Saric gets there first. Looks to play out from the back. Diaz under pressure. Diving in is Depuzo. gets the yellow. Well, if I said there's a player that's good for a yellow card early on, which is what I said about Adrian Uccino, David DePuzzo is also another player. Plays tough, never gives an inch. You love those players. They are prone to yellows from time to time. But aggression and still, especially in that midfield role, those holding midfield roles these days. A lot of traffic through that centre third. You've got to have players with steel and grit, determination. Predanovic still going. Payne comes back to help out. Simmons getting a little messy at the moment. Simmons for Parisi onto his right. He'll have a shot from here. Franco Parisi, well, he tried to pick out that far corner. Just didn't have the execution. The number 10 for APIA. Cheng. A little over half an hour gone in the second half here at Lambert Park. The ball in for Saric, gets there first. Kuda tracks across. He just slips down, Daniel Saric. Lindsay with Payne. Two Chris's. Diaz with Parisi. Parisi stays down under that heavy challenge. All legal though. Saric. The ball in for Peters. Matamalo heads it away, only as far as Smith. Diaz. Parisi back to his feet. See another substitution for North Shore Mariners. And this time it'll be Damir Predanovic coming off and Daniel Alanaran to come on. That's a third substitution for Joe Haywood. Just the one at the moment for APIA and Joe Kalesia. Jeremy Cox coming on. Dom Nazrabadi, so another like-for-like before for APIA. As North Shore Mariners look to chase this one. Alanaran. Well, he can get into the action just as Svilagoy did earlier on with that towering header. Inches away from a leveller. Braden Cheng, not sure what he's doing there. He's a good 6 metres offside. Ball in by Lindsay, looking for Svilagoy. Ball still in the 18-yard box. Falls down for Peters. He has a shot and puts it in the back of the net. Well, Manny Peters, an opportune strike on his right. Buries it. North Shore Mariners restore parity here at Lambert Park. It's 1-1 and game on. What a strike there by Manny Peters. He came out onto his right on the half volley. Picked out the bottom corner of Ivan Nacheski's goal. And North Shore Mariners, they've been working hard. They've got their just reward. And what a final 12 minutes we're going to have here in Leichhardt. Well, he's worked hard today, Manny Peters. Deserved that goal. Close to the best on the park for North Shore Mariners. Good to see him with his first goal of the season. What a confidence booster it will be him, and not only for him, but for the club. First game in the top flight against last year's champions. Never an easy task. We touched on earlier, they've got Wollongong next week, so doesn't get any easier for them. But some confidence instilled in Joe Haywood's side now. Let's see what APIA have. Simmons looks to flick it on for Kuda. Gets the throw. The shot there from Simmons. Gets the deflection, still falls to APIA, and Jeremy Cox shows too much of the ball. Chris Lindsay wins it. The goal scorer, Peters, looks to go down the line. Lindsay sends it forward, and it's a match race at the moment. Nachevsky gets outside the box first. Always going to win that chase to the ball ahead of Mitch Smith. Again, the long ball forward, looking for Parisi. But it'll be Smile that gets there. Ahead of him. Concedes the corner. Parisi takes it quick. Payne looks to turn inside the 18-yard box. Across the face it goes. APIA looking for a corner. Referee points to the goal kick. As we hit the 80-minute mark in this first game of the 2020 season in the National Premier League's New South Wales Men's 1. North Shore Mariners 1, APIA Leichhardt 1. Can North Shore Mariners set the cat amongst the pigeons and find a second? Dare to dream. The ball over the top by Jamba. Nachevsky quick off his line. Had Saric lurking, so couldn't afford a spill. Game certainly opened up over the last 5 or 6 minutes. And will do so in his final 9 and a bit minutes coming up. Both sides chasing the full 3 points. Like what I'm seeing from North Shore Mariners. They could be setting up defensively and happy with a point, but they're still pressing, looking for the winner. Switch of play by Jamba. Just couldn't quite get the way to pass on that ball for Saric. So second substitution for APIA. And it's David DePuzzo coming off. And he'll be replaced by Mitchell Gibbs. Jamba under pressure from Gibbs. Of course, Gibbs coming across from Rydalmere Lions. One of the off-season recruits for APIA. In the off-season they picked up Jeremy Cox, as we touched on, from Sutherland. Patrick Sibilio from Sydney FC. Gibbs from Rydalmere Lions. Gavin Denise from South Melbourne, late signing, played in the 20s today. So, some depth for APIA. Of course, Corey Bixo out today. Ball forward for Smith. Maitamalo clears. Smile sends it forward once again. Jamba gets there, wins it. Ahead of Simmons. Sends it across the left. Lindsay can't keep it in. Unlucky is the call from the fans. Certainly going to be a first for many this year. Not coming up against North Shore Mariners before. North Shore and APIA have their own little battle, the Battle of Lambert. Spoils are even at the moment. Still 7+ change left in this contest. Lindsay, far post ball in. Nachevsky climbs and climbs well. Had to. Quick release, straight to Jamba. Sends into APIA territory. Smith, isolated maroon shirts. Looks to think it across to Peters. Diaz gets there ahead of Uchino. Turned over. Parisi. Sean Simmons. They turn it over to Diaz. Smith, he runs. Oh, just a little too heavy that second touch, but he's doing well. Mitch Smith, he gets around 1, 2, 3. There's a shot. Good power on it. Just couldn't pick out the right sort of angle from that distance, but he never gave up on the chase, Mitch Smith. Did well in the end to get his shot on target. Galimi. Shows a little bit too much of that ball. Too many Peters. Uchino looking for runners. Again, the long ball is the option. Cox trying to get in around Chris Lindsay. Does well. The number 3 for North Shore just to hold him up. Just to play it back to Parisi. Looking to play the angles. APIA fighting hard for it. Still in the box. Payne. Smile. Half high foot there from Rainer Smile, but not much he could really do, to be honest. If anything, Chris Payne put his head in a dangerous position. Free kick to APIA as we enter the final 5 minutes of this contest. Sean Simmons with the in-swinger from his left. You would expect it with low trajectory. Whipping it in, action. Bodies everywhere in the box. Can APIA get the touch to it that counts? Sean Simmons steps up, drives it low. Still into the box, cries a handball. Saric clears it away down the field. And the ball will recycle through Michael Kuda for APIA. Plays it short to Uchino. Long ball again. Flat it was. Cleared away by North Shore. Slight touch there by many. APIA with the free kick. They bomb forward. Numbers once again. Gibbs tries to chest it into the box. Tries a handball. Everyone stood as one. Nowhere to hide out there. Michael Kuda with that one. Mariners trying to get the ball quickly so they can restart play. Lindsay, head forward. Waitamalo gets it down. That's Cox to his right. Again, I'll have to go back to the middle. Jeremy Cox, not a great deal up front. So they'll switch the play across the left. Kuda shows too much of that ball. To Braden Cheng. He's had a good shift himself, Braden Cheng. Saw him on the left in the first half, and the moment he's on the right-hand side. And that's where I saw him. I called him last year in that preliminary final. A resounding victory against Mounties Wanderers that they had that would see them go on to the grand final. And whilst they went down, it was a memorable season for them. So here's a player you can pretty much put in any role and get the job done. Temba Milo almost hands it on a plate to Peters. Wood clears it forward. APIA with the throw on the halfway line on the far side. Michael Kuda takes it quickly. Uchino. Simmons. Josh goes back to where he came from. Galimi calls for it and gets it. Again, not much movement in that front third for APIA, so having to play sideways and backwards at the moment. Not creating any space in the right pockets for the ball to be delivered in. Simmons, the ball in behind. Delightful. Just runs away from Michael Kuda, though, as he races across. Get the ball for Ryan Wood. I think, if anything, North Shore Mariners will be more than happy with the point out of this contest. Their first ever point in the top flight of New South Wales football. If you don't know the story, there's a story online about the North Shore Mariners on the NPL New South Wales website and Facebook page. Joe Haywood, the coach today, has been there for the ride from grassroots park football club to a state league club to now an NPL 1 side. Of course, a pathway and a feeder for Central Coast Mariners. So the idea is always to develop players from within that are good enough to be ushered into that pathway to the Central Coast Mariners. As The game starts to wind down now. Here at Lambert. As the home fans look to get behind North Shore. Ball forward, headed away by APIA. Uchino helps it on its way. Of course, one of the players that's come through the North Shore Mariners system, Lewis Miller. He's played for Central Coast over the last couple of weeks. Looks like we will see 3 minutes of additional time added on. So 3 minutes for either side to win it. Long ball forward looking for Simmons. It's tracked across by Sviligoi. Still going, Simmons needs some support. Back to goal. No advantage there on the pull down of Braden Chang. Ball is sent forward by Wood. Simmons. Gibbs. Sean Simmons. Sviligoi gets there first. My first time seeing Zach Sviligoi. Looks a strong lad. Has been a presence since coming on. Came on for Eddie Caspers. Peters fighting in the centre of the park. Uchino goes down, play on. Surridge tucks it in behind for Smith. He looks to get around Josh Simmons. And we're going to see Josh Simmons in the card of the book, of referee Tim Danaskos this time. So that's the third yellow card to APIA tonight. Picked up by Uchino, DePuzzo, Simmons. So 3 players, if you're having money on a yellow card tonight, that they'd feature prominently. It's just the solitary one for North Shore through Braden Cheng. Into the final minute of time added on. Will it be North Shore Mariners that break the hearts of APIA Leichhardt? We'll see how this pays out. The delivery in. Looking for the header. Off the crossbar it goes from Braden Cheng. The second time ball in by Smile. Chris Lindsay has a shot. Another block there deflected away by APIA. Jumbo with the ball in. Well, Braden Cheng, how that didn't go in, I'll never know. That's twice today. APIA have survived from the goal structures here at Leichhardt. Corner coming up. Surridge with perhaps the last play of the game. The last opportunity. Can the Mariners strike? Cleared away by Payne. Only as far as Jamba. He'll look to get the ball forward as quick as he can. First time up towards Peters. Simmons, Jamba. Happy with the throw, but may well be the last play of the game in this one. Galimi takes the throw, but that's all she wrote here at Lambert Park in the opening round of the 2020 National Premier League New South Wales Men's 1 competition. Bushfire relief round and the new boys of the competition. North Shore Mariners 1, APIA Leichhardt 1. Intriguing battle it was by 2 sides, but in the end you'd have to say a result that was deserved by both. So they share the spoils today, a point to either side. Gives them both confidence moving forward. Of course, that's the first ever point for North Shore Mariners in the top flight. Will give them confidence heading down to Wollongong next week, taking on Wollongong Wolves. Whilst APIA will be back at Lambert Park once again hosting Sydney Olympic. So they'll sit back tonight and tomorrow and see how Olympic fares against Wollongong Wolves. Ironic that both sides verse tomorrow, that these two teams will be coming up against next week. For APIA, their goal came from the ever-reliable Chris Payne, and Manny Peters in the 78th minute got the goal for North Shore Mariners. A great half volley from outside the box. He deserved that goal. He was brilliant for them today. But Joe Haywood certainly can be proud of his team and what they accomplished first time round today. Good crowd on hand. I'm Will Gotts. It's been a pleasure calling it for you today. Don't forget tomorrow, all the action starts at 2 p.m. out at Popondetta Park. Mount Druitt Town Rangers taking on Sydney FC. Nicholas Kutniak will be in the bike. We'll go all the way through to 7 o'clock tomorrow night, where Mark Haney will be hosting Southern out at Mark Haney Stadium. But for now, full time here at Lambert Park. North Shore Mariners 1, APIA Leichhardt Tigers, 1.